Guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
How are y'all?
Good. Good.
Good. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear
Awesome.
us?
I like the little section in the back.
Oh, gosh.
What is
We're in our
that?
little sister's room.
Well, it's a good little backdrop we got going on there.
Yeah. Makeshift.
Um, so how have y'all been? What have y'all been up to?
We've been pretty good. I'm just wrapping up my senior year, which has been kind of crazy, but I'm so close and I'm really excited. And then just working out, spending time with family, playing games.
So do y'all work out together a lot?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
super fun, and it's nice too. We can even play volleyball together too, which makes it nice. I know not everyone has that, so it's been really fun.
Are you able to like push each other in your workouts? Do you feel like it helps you motivate each other?
Yeah, you can definitely tell if someone starts to speed up, the other person speeds up, and
Yeah. I like how y'all laugh about that. Do y'all get pretty competitive in workouts?
I think it was maybe 2 days ago. I might have got yelled at, but
Were you not working hard enough?
well, I was really struggling, and I took a quick break, and she was like, "Keep going." I was like, "Okay." So it's good motivation. It's really
Level. That's awesome. So for anyone who is on right now, we're here with Avery and Madi Skinner. We're so happy to have them. Avery is an alumni for Houston Skyline, and Madi is currently on our 18 Royal team. And so we just wanted to connect with them today and kind of just talk about their experience with volleyball over the years. So we'll kind of bounce around asking questions between the two of them. But if anyone in the audience has any questions, feel free to throw them in there, and I will make sure that I'm monitoring the chat. So kind of starting off, let's start with Avery. Tell us about your club experience and your club years.
Yeah, so I actually started at a club that does not exist anymore, but we practiced at the old Skyline gym. So I guess Jen saw one of our practices and talked to my mom, and that's kind of how I got in with Skyline. I started my 14s year and played all the way to 18s and loved every minute of it, met so many great people and made so many memories. So yeah, that's kind of, I was there for my last 5 years.
Yeah. So Madi, how long have you been playing club volleyball?
So I started playing club 15's year. I actually played 12s and then did not like it at all. So I was a dancer. So I went back to dance. And then I realized I wanted to be able to play a sport in college. So I was like, I've already tried volleyball, decent. So I might as well just try to go back and get back into swing things. So I moved from dance to volleyball my 15's year. And club has just been an absolute blast. I've been able to play with some of my best friends. And also be trained by some amazing coaches, and so I've loved it.
So what made you want to come back to volleyball? Did you miss it at all, or was it just something you wanted to try again?
With a little pressure from Ave, I was like, I really wanted to do something in college other than academics. And I saw Avery was getting recruited, and I was like, this is potentially something that I'd want to do. So I was like,
awesome.
Get back into it, and I was horrible, so bad my 15th year, but I mean, just worked hard and here we are. So
it's all about the glow up.
Yeah.
You know, started from the bottom, we're here. So tell me, do y'all have any favorite club memories, winning a qualifier, or any really funny moments from club?
My favorite club memory was probably a couple months ago when we won those 2 qualifiers back to back. We won Lone Star and then went to Florida and won Sunshine. So that was just a lot of hard work. We had a lot of tough practices in between the qualifiers, but it was just so fun to be able to go 9-0 in the tournament and win the whole thing.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy for sure. What about you, Avery?
Mine, I'm pulling kind of deep. So 16's year, we played, it was like a last minute qualifier, I think. We kind of added it to our schedule, and so not all parents were able to come. So 5 of us ended up flying earlier in the day with Mitch, and then the rest of us were supposed to come later that day. And due to weather, long story short, they weren't able to come at the time they were supposed to, and eventually they were able to. Literally drove from the airport, walked right on the court, played our first game, and we ended up qualifying. So just super memorable and just a funny time to look back on, and I will never forget it.
Were you trying to like warm up on the plane or what?
Well, I wasn't on the plane group. I was already in Florida, which was nice.
Oh, okay.
joking around. We're like, oh, what if they don't actually get here? Like, that would be funny. And then it actually happened. So, yeah, we were happy to not have to forfeit the first game because.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Yeah, so that was Disney, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, super cool. So, kind of, Maddie, you've probably had some time to kind of like think about this because we've been on this break, and Avery, obviously, you've been out of club volleyball for a long time, but what do you feel like are some of your biggest takeaways from playing club volleyball?
For me, I would say one of the biggest takeaways is just to be adaptable. I really never had one set position necessarily in the front row. I kind of hit everywhere in club. So just being open to the process and being able to adapt to whatever situation I was put in to succeed was definitely important. And something we talk a lot about at UK is just not getting out of your comfort zone, but expanding it. So adding more tools to your tool belt and just being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I think that's something that started in club and I've tried to carry it on to college for sure.
What about you, Maddie?
For me, it would just be take advantage of every practice and every opportunity that you have to step on the court, because that's what's preparing you for the next level if that's something that you're interested in. I just know throughout my club, career is easy just to kind of go into practice and be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to have fun with my friends, but not really take it too seriously at times. And college comes so fast. And like, that's the prep that you get for competing at the college level. So towards the end of my 18th year, so I played 18s twice, so I guess it would have been like my 17th year. That's when it really clicked, and I was like, okay, I really need to, when I walk on the court, take it seriously, give it everything I have, because stuff like this comes up and you're missing out on practices and whatnot, and you want to be able to know that you gave all that you had the last time you're on court.
Definitely. Okay, we got a question from the crowd. It's from one of our 12s players. How do you keep yourself motivated during hard times?
I would honestly say just being motivated by other people. So I know for us, like our team, we've all tried to stay connected through Zoom and texting, FaceTimes, whatever it might be, sending workouts. We all have little teams that we compete with different workout competitions. Okay. So I think just finding some other people to keep you accountable, that always helps, not just knowing that you're not alone doing what you're doing.
Yeah. What about you, Maddie?
I would say the exact same thing. And it doesn't always have to be like sports teams. It can be friends. It can be family. That's your support system. And whenever you're going through a tough time, that's really what's going to keep you going, keep you motivated. So
that's awesome. So kind of moving into like the college transition. So Avery, obviously you're a little bit older. You've been down this road once or twice. So what was your recruiting process like, and what made you choose Kentucky?
Yeah, so Kentucky really wasn't on my radar early on, but from the first conversation I had with Lindsay, who's actually the head coach at OU now, I knew there was something special about UK, and just from getting to know the coaching staff later on, realized it's such a family atmosphere, and they not only care about you as a player, but you as a person, and that's been super consistent and evident from the time I was being recruited to now, for sure.
Cool. And then Maddie, obviously, your sister went there, but it was your own decision. You decided to go to Kentucky on your own. Like, how did you make that decision, and what is it about Kentucky that makes you so excited to be there?
One of the main reasons I chose Kentucky was I just clicked so well with the girls and with the coaching staff. And part of that was because I was up there so often visiting Ave and watching her play. But it really just felt like a family, and that was something that I was really looking for whenever it came to recruiting and looking at different schools. And then also Avery briefly mentioned this, but they don't only focus on recruiting amazing athletes, but they also look at the character of the person, which is a big thing for me, because I knew walking into this program, I would be surrounded by not only amazing athletes, but also good people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so y'all both together and on your own have been on several mission trips. How has that like played out? I know one of them was through Kentucky, I think, Avery, and then Maddie, you did your own. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I have a big passion for missions. Actually, with my church, we do this Bible study called Life Groups. And if you participate in Life Groups, you get to go on a mission trip in the summer. So I've had an opportunity to go to Alaska. I went to Colombia this past summer. And then my mom and I do a mission trip with our church, and we go to Uganda. So just that's a big part of what I love doing, and I love being able to share that passion with my mom because we get to travel together and it's a lot of fun. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I kind of did similar things with her in our church. So I was able to go on some local mission trips. My mom and I went to India in 2013, I think. So that was when I was younger and kind of sparked my passion for missions and kind of going overseas. And so UK has a super cool opportunity that you can go on a trip to Ethiopia in the summer. And so I was able to do that last summer, and it was just such an amazing opportunity. I actually got to go with one of my teammates, which is rare. Normally they just take one from every team. So also getting to meet other athletes who I don't see on the daily was really neat, and definitely something I will never forget and loved.
Yeah, so that's super cool to hear. Avery, this one's more for you. So in college, it can be, super hard to juggle everything. You're playing such a high level sport. You're in classes all the time, and it sounds like you do a ton of community service. And so how do you balance all of that, and how do you still prioritize different things in your life?
Yeah, it's definitely hard, and that was a big thing for me coming in and adjusting of just there's so many things vying for your time, and you have your mandatory things like workouts and practice and class and tutors, and then your social life and volunteering. For me, like, that's not mandatory, but you kind of have to find a way to piece all of those things together, and the day is only so long. So it definitely is hard, but especially now that I'm getting farther along in my schooling, I don't have those core classes that are throughout the day. So the days that I had breaks, I usually tried to go wherever I go volunteer. So NICU, the school, whatever it might be. So just trying to find those pockets of time and being intentional about every minute, because you really need to do that in college for sure.
Yeah. So you were recently inducted into the Frank G. Ham Society. Sorry, I always think about that for a little bit of character. And so that's a pretty big deal at Kentucky. And so what exactly, can you explain to us what that means and what that meant to you?
Yeah, so I honestly didn't know what it was when I found out. Like, my academic advisor called me. I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to go look up what this is. And so it basically is named after Frank G. Ham, who was a highly respected longtime administrator at UK. And so it was just named after him. And it basically just honors athletes who have excelled in multiple areas of life. So academics, athletics, personal career development, that type of stuff. So I was surprised and definitely honored. And I know people who came before me that I respect so much who had been honored. So to be in that position was super humbling.
That's awesome. So Maddie, this one's for you. What are you most excited about kind of looking forward to going to school at Kentucky and playing volleyball there?
I'm just most excited to get on campus. With everything being delayed, it's just getting me more pumped. I can't wait to get in the gym and just train with the girls, and just be in that atmosphere and just have fun, just be up there. That's what I'm most excited for.
So kind of segueing into, Kentucky is obviously not in Texas. So how did that, what is that like for y'all? Is it hard being far away? Did you ever picture yourself going to an out-of-state school? And how has that played out?
For me, I kind of knew that I didn't want to stay in Texas. I just kind of wanted to use volleyball to take me wherever it could. And so whenever the opportunity to go to Kentucky came along, I hopped on it, and I love it. It's definitely far, and it stinks when friends or teammates who are closer to Lexington can go home on the weekends, and I definitely cannot do that. That part kind of stinks, but everyone there is so helpful, and whether it's going to people's houses for Thanksgiving or whatever it might be, it's definitely nice. And my mom definitely tries to come up and fly and watch us play and be with us whenever she can too, so that's awesome.
Cool. What about you, Maddie?
I was a little more open to staying in state. I looked at a couple of schools I really enjoyed in Texas, but I do like the idea of being able to kind of go somewhere different, and I can always move back home if I wanted to after. I did not think I would end up in Kentucky, but just being up there, it feels more like a second home, and I love the city. I love Lexington.
So Avery, do you feel like there was a big transition period for you kind of when you were a freshman? Not only are you going through transitioning what it's like to be a collegiate athlete, but you're also further away from home. What was that like?
Yeah, what was super nice for me, we were able to go in the summer. So I got there in June before season started, and that was super nice to just get acclimated with everything. We only were taking 6 hours, so two classes, and all of the other freshmen in my class were there too. So we were all kind of just figuring everything out together, but we were able to work out, get to know campus and that type of stuff. So that was really nice just to kind of figure things out before we started preseason, because once that starts, you're just on from there.
Cool. So, you're 3 years in. Tell me some of your favorite moments, volleyball related, during your time at Kentucky.
Yeah. I'd say probably one of my favorite moments was my freshman year when we were in the NCAA tournament and beat BYU to get to the Elite Eight. We actually were able to host that year the next round, so that was awesome. Just having our home court advantage, having our fans there. It was such an intense game. We won in five, and it definitely was just one of like the big highlights of my career. I love to think about it, back about it.
So, what are you looking most forward to for this last year for you?
Yeah, it's crazy. I cannot believe I'm already a senior. Like when people say it goes by fast, it's so true. Um, but honestly, I'm just so excited to play with my friends and finish out. Yes, and you too. um, yeah, I'm just so excited. Just, I mean, it stinks there are going to be so many lasts, but I just want to take advantage of every single minute of it and spend time with my closest friends and do things in Lexington I haven't been able to do and just kind of enjoy that last year.
Yeah, for sure. And what a cool experience that y'all as sisters get to be on the same team. Like, that's pretty crazy.
We're super
How
excited.
do y'all feel? Like, how basically, y'all sounded like you push each other. Like, that's great. And do you feel like you lean on each other in moments?
Yeah, I think we played a couple of years of high school ball together. And it's a good mixture of holding each other accountable, but also if one of us is struggling, just encouraging them, and just kind of being someone that they can lean on during that time. So I think we've done a good job of just being able to not be sisters really on the court, but be more teammates, and not kind of let the bond that we have affect too much on the court.
That's awesome. So tell me, like, just general volleyball questions. Has either of y'all ever played different positions?
Yeah, so I started I started as a middle 15s year, and then I don't remember if it was the middle of 16s or 17s I got switched to outside. I kind of just throughout my club career I've played all over. I played a little bit of right side, but mainly
Cool. Yeah. What about you, Avery? Hmm. Yeah. Avery, what do you feel like your favorite is? Which position is your favorite? Looks like we're having connection issue. Can y'all hear me? Okay, are we good now? Oh boy. See if we can get them back on. Just a little bit of connection issue. We'll see if they are able to get back on here in a minute. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and finish up for today. We're sorry connection issues kind of got in the way. There's a pretty bad storm in Houston, but we really enjoyed having y'all all here today, and we really enjoyed having the Skinners, and we're just super thankful that they were able to come on with us. So y'all have a great day. Thank you.